Being a top 5 pick in the NBA draft comes with more than just a big paycheck. It comes with some pretty high expectations. Expectations that some rookies cannot handle. What is going on, guys? King of Standard here, and today we're going to be going over the top 5 biggest busts in NBA history. Starting us off at number 5, we have Adam Morrison. Adam Morrison was drafted number 3 in 2006 when the Charlotte Hornets were known as the Charlotte Bobcats. He only played 161 games in his whole entire career. In college, he played along J.J. Redick, and they put together one of the best battles for college basketball's National Player of the Year since Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. Redick won, but Morrison did average 28 points in college. He had one of the most memorable mustaches in CBB history. The rivalry didn't translate to the NBA as Redick, as we all know, became a better player than Morrison, with better numbers and a better career. Although Morrison did have the better numbers in college, that did not translate to the NBA. At number 4, we have Johnny Flynn. Johnny Flynn was drafted number 6 in 2009 by the Minnesota Timberwolves. He only played 163 games in his whole entire career and combined for 9.2 points per game. He fell, really fast. He averaged 13 points in his career during his games and had 4.4 assists per game in his first year. But he fell off and is not really known as a Stephen Curry type player or Brandon Jennings. He came close in the Rookie of the Year race, but fell short to other better players that are in the NBA today. Minnesota found that he did not have the point guard selected that they wanted to. He did not fit their style and unique interests that they played with, so eventually he kind of just died out, and in his third season in the NBA, he went international. At number 3, we have Nikoloz Tesfakashvili. Sorry about that, but I cannot pronounce his name. He was drafted number 5 in 2002 by the Denver Nuggets. He played just 172 games in his career and averaged 2.9 points per game. It turns out that he wasn't as good as people thought he was going to be. He played 81 games as a rookie, and including 16 starts. But he shot just 29.3% from the field and made only 24% of his 152 three-point attempts. Not much better than a rookie. He made his 20.6% of his shots from the downfall before budding into a superstar into his second year. On the other hand, he only got worse and never started another game. He shot just 19.4% from the three-point range over the next 3 seasons and bounced from Denver to Golden State to Minnesota to Phoenix before teams finally gave up on the pre-draft hype. At number 2, we have Darko Milicic. He was drafted number 2 in 2003 by the Detroit Pistons. He played 468 games in 10 seasons in his career. He only averaged 6 points per game though, and he was not lived up to the hype that surrounded him. Even though he stayed up for a decade doesn't mean that he did live up to that height. He lived far from it, especially from the team that drafted him. He made just 2 starts in 2+ seasons with the Pistons. Both of them at the end of the 2004-05 season when they had already locked up the number 2 seed of the Eastern Conference and were just trying to avoid injury to key players. Take those 2 games and he averaged 5.2 minutes and 1.4 points in his career with Detroit. He eventually provided value for other teams, starting a combined total of 205 games from 2006 to 2012 with Orlando, Memphis, and Minnesota. This man just bounced around from team to team and never really became the solid star player that surrounded him into the draft. At number 1, we have Anthony Bennett. Anthony Bennett was drafted number 1 in 2013 by the Cleveland Cavaliers. He played just 151 games in his total career in 4 seasons. He averaged 4.4 points per game, and this guy definitely didn't live up to the hype. 1 decade and 1 day after using the number 1 pick to draft one of the greatest players of all time, LeBron James, they made a different kind of history with their number 1 pick in 2013. Anthony Bennett was almost, the worst number 1 pick since LaRue Martin in 1972. The only other guy you can reasonably put in front of the conversation is, nobody. Because Bennett's numbers were those categories are 658 and 4, respectively, and he didn't even want to make 4 full seasons before playing for 4 different teams and getting waived several times. he's still young enough at 25 that it's too early to declare him as an official bust, but it does appear that he's trying to rebound himself, and, well, it's not working. He shot 42.3% on 6.1 3-point attempts per game in the G League. Alright guys, that is going to conclude the list. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and hopefully you guys learned some of the greatest busts in NBA history. If you did enjoy, please go down there and hit subscribe. This is actually my first video on my channel, and I just really wanted to start off strong. Thank you guys, and please do support the growth of my channel by liking this video and hitting that subscribe button. Thank you guys.